Hey there, I'm Steve Brownell, and again, I have created this website called Retail Energy Wizard, and also a YouTube channel to help people in the retail energy business who are just getting started with some of the common problems and issues that come up, and easy ways or more cost-effective ways to solve them. So, today we're going to talk about customer complaints. Being in the retail energy business, I've handled basically two classes of customers. There's the large commercial customers, which will complain from time to time, but frankly, generally, only if there's a big issue. And then there's the residential sector. And I'd like to tell people that retail energy is primarily about a retail business who happens to sell energy, not the other way around, which you might be considered in the commercial business, which is an energy company that happens to be retail. And in the residential business, it's a retail business, just like your mom and pop ice cream store or restaurant that happens to be selling electricity or gas. And so what happens is you're going to find, perhaps uncomfortably, that almost immediately as you begin selling electricity to customers, is that they're going to complain. They're going to complain about all kinds of things, and you need to prepare to respond to them. Now, typically, your sources of complaints will either come through one, your customer care center, in which you'll have a call center to be able to address them immediately, and probably some kind of a mechanism for escalating those complaints and dealing with the ones that are the most vocal. Then you're going to have complaints that are filed through various website portals with the PUCs that are complaints to the regulator, many times claiming that they've been slammed or the billing is wrong. Those are typical complaints. And those complaints have to be handled very specially, and I've addressed in another video, those regulatory complaints, they have to be handled with white glove attention. Finally, there's the complaints that you would expect in this modern age of social media, complaints that are filed on Google or other websites complaining about, potentially your service, your techniques for acquiring customers. If you're using door-to-door service, they're going to complain about, a vendor that came to their house and knocked on their door and used potentially high pressure techniques to try to sell them the electricity. It's those social complaints that can be difficult or damaging reputationally if they get out there on the internet and Broadway, and if you're not prepared to address them. So you definitely want to make sure that in your startup, you have someone from your marketing department or your customer care department who focuses just in particular on social media type complaints and addressing them. And the way to do that would be, again, to create some kind of a system of record and workflow that allows you to manage those kinds of complaints, which don't typically get registered in your customer relationship module or in your billing system. So you want to create a database or a table, a log and registry of those kinds of complaints, and a methodology for addressing them, taking them offline, making the customer happy, and potentially asking the customer to give you a new review after their experience with your resolution process. So I've created such a database using Airtable, and in another video, you can do a walkthrough with me, a demo of the table, so that you can see how to manage these particular complaints and make sure they're addressed. They're also going to be a great barometer for where you have issues in your business, particularly in your customer service end of it, so that you can watch for trends and nip them in the bud before they get out of hand. And you also want to be able to make sure that you address them quickly on the internet, because that is a source of information for a lot of people in terms of recommendations about which companies they want to buy from. So you want to make sure that all of those complaints are treated just as importantly as ones filed with the regulators or ones that come up through the escalation system within your customer care department. So I hope that proves helpful. Please feel free to look at my demo on a potential means for addressing them. And I look forward to giving you the next tip to make your life easier.